excellent recruiter, really good person, great family man, and a hell of a coach. And so, that has nothing to do with this profession for me. That's all about, feeling for a guy who, has to go home and tell his family what's going on, and that's a tough situation to be in. And I'm sure it was a very difficult decision for Mike.
And I know that this is kind of the old adage: you've either been fired as a coach or you're going to get fired as a coach. Is that just comes with the territory?
I think sometimes it does, and obviously, it's a what have you done for me lately profession, and so you got to put up, and there's a lot of reasons why those things happen, and it's generally never one guy's fault. Unfortunately, sometimes one guy has to pay the price.
And moving to Cal, what's their offensive line? When you break those guys down, and what have they done so well in protecting Goff that's allowed? They don't have very many sacks compared to the number of passes.
I think it's very simple. I think that what they've done is they've protected him with scheme. They've been more committed to running the ball. They've got more screens and quick game involved, and so they're not just trying to push the ball down the field as much as they were a year ago. And so I think that Sonny and Steph have really done an excellent job in the offseason of kind of looking at, okay, what do we have personnel-wise? How can we maximize their talent and their ability and also keep our quarterback upright? And first thing they did was they said, we're going to be more committed to running the football. And so while you look at it and say they're ranked 80th in the country in the rushing game, they're also rushing for 150 yards a game. And so that's still an effective number, and that balance takes some of the heat off that offensive line and off of Goff in terms of having to spin it every down.
Now, I know Pete said yesterday that you guys are familiar with what Sonny Dykes did at Louisiana Tech. Does that allow you guys? Is he really still kind of doing some of the same things, or has he really changed? I really look at, obviously, he's kind of from Coach Leach's school a little bit, working with him at Texas Tech. But Tony Franklin's got a little bit different spin on the run game than Mike does. And so that's where I see the biggest difference is really with what they're doing in terms of the run game, having some 21 personnel run, running gap schemes, not just all zone. And so I think that's where maybe the biggest difference comes into play is in their style in the run game. And as productive as you guys have been along the defensive line, what did you need to clean up this week?
We just went right back to day one. We talked about our footwork, our hand placement, our eyes, and it was so funny because we went back over to the 5-man for the first time in a little while and got on that for a while. It's like, holy cow, this looks like day one. But by the end of that second practice, we're right back to it. So that just tells you, hey, we just got to stay on our fundamentals. We got to leverage blocks. We got to play with great pad level. And if we keep doing those things, we'll continue to get better. The young guys show improvement. The old guys, they just keep getting better each week.
And obviously, you've got the guys, your four. Based on what you saw this week and getting back to the fundamentals and guys emerging, do you see some guys coming out in their second half?
Yeah. I think I see, JoJo coming back and kind of really doing some great things, playing with great effort and having a tremendous attitude. Will Disley's continuing to improve. Elijah's really had a good couple of weeks. If we're not playing a Stanford who's going to have a slowed down tempo, he's probably getting opportunity to play. But those guys were pretty adamant that they were going to finish that thing, so I wasn't about to touch him in that situation. But I think those are the guys that really show up. Tawny's done a nice job. Even Turp's kind of a forgotten guy. He's kind of a quiet guy, but he shows up consistently in our drill work and in practice as well. So I'm really pleased with the progress the young guys are making. I think it's really a byproduct of the type of leadership that we have in that position.
Coach, is there any